Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, oh, well, it did work.
Yeah,
Yay.
good.
So I set it up because it had like an option for recording. So, and I don't
Right.
know what that meant. So I don't know, I just pressed it. But I set it for, I guess 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think 30 minutes is the most it'll let you do without like charging you or something.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I see it's recording. The little red light's blinking up there.
Okay. So I don't know how to upload it. I guess I can play with it or just go to back to the website and just like kind of like take notes on how to upload it and stuff.
Yeah, I think there are directions in Blackboard somewhere, and then if you can't figure it out, just if you can, it should when we're done and in the meeting, it should pop up as a file, like an MP3 file, kind of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't figure out how to upload it, just email it to me and I can upload it. Because I
Okay.
think I have it figured out, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I didn't know what was going on. And I know my Wi-Fi is bad sometimes at home. So I thought it may have been the
Yeah, mine
Wi-Fi
is too.
because it kept on saying launching and launching. And I closed it and opened up another tab and it was like launching. So I closed the first tab and it was still launching. Um, yeah. So
All right. So, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I guess I can go first.
Okay.
Get mine out the way because I'm nervous. So if I go first, I can get all my nerves out. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back and reiterate, what we discussed before in our first Zoom session,
Right.
because I still have the same information and I kind of just like pulled the review up on my phone so I can kind of speak to it.
Right.
Um, so the first part with the key questions, is the test content aligned with the course content or appropriate external sources when directed to do so or when needed to support discussions and so on. And I wrote the task content is aligned with the course content. And it was everything that was in the subtitles. You addressed everything that was in the subtitles. Um, Using the language of the rubric, examine the text for areas of strengths and comments. Be prepared to share during Zoom peer review session. The candidate used a minimum of 3 sources for the PLC research, and it was written in the APA format. The candidate documented the team's strengths and other supporting details. The candidate used the basic technology to communicate with others, Google Docs for PLC minutes. The next part of the rubric, using the language of the rubric, examine the text for areas of weaknesses and comment. So some areas that I pulled out was in the meeting section. The candidate should consider documenting each PLC member's role, establishing norms and the purpose of the PLC. The candidate should consider inserting a visual just to go with the PLC meetings and any other information. So the next part is how was leadership demonstrated. The candidate was able to select a team according to the vision that was described during the PLC. So you described what the vision was, and then you kind of gathered your team according to the vision. So we knew who everybody was. Is the evidence narrative written professionally? Is the language formal? Was it sentence structure? Acronyms identified? And so I just wrote check for grammatical errors in the document. Just some was like and for and. It's just like
Right.
you just stuff to do. So that, and let's see. I had 2 pages here. All right, evidence narrative was structured in a manner that is logical, organized, and professional. The school profile should appear first in the document. Subheadings are clearly represented. represented. Check to make sure in-text citations, tables, graph visuals, and works cited pages are cited properly. To locate evidence, the candidate could add visuals or figures to support the data. Works cited page was cited properly. So that was it. But the paper was good, and I noticed that even in doing other peer reviews, it's like everybody has a different way of bringing out their points.
Right.
But it was just like a different way everybody brought out their points. So it was kind of difficult for me to like really critique, because you're coming from a standpoint of this is what happened, or this is your research, and this is how your research, this is the narrative of your research, and this is what the PLC was, and this is the narrative of your PLC. So I don't know, I kind of felt like, to me, like it was on point and it reflected, the task at hand, what we were supposed to do.
Right. And you're right, everyone does write different, and that does make this a whole lot harder, it seems like, because everyone has different styles. And like when I was reading your paper, I thought your paper was really good. It was really detailed. But I don't know. I mean, you did a really good job of describing your school and everything and the school profile. But I think it's still easier, like if I had been there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But with yours, like I said, I thought your paper was really good for content. I said that it was really well put together, that you had way more resources than they required, and that the pictures and the graphs really just backed all your information up even more. For your strengths, I think your strength in your paper really came from the facts. Like I just said, way more resources, and you had the pictures to back it all up and the graphics and all that. The only weakness I saw, and it wasn't really in the content, it was just more in the layout of your paper. There were like a couple paragraphs that just seemed really short.
Mm-hmm.
So my only suggestion was to kind of make that flow a little bit better. And I guess that's just my brain works that way. Like I said, everyone has different writing styles. So that may make more sense to someone else. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
For leadership, I said that you could really tell that during your PLC you took control and you had everything on the right track. You could tell that you'd put a lot of thought into your PLC members, and you made sure that they all fit what you wanted your PLC to be. And I also thought it was awesome that you were going to use the Zoom, using like the new technology, the new tool that we're learning here. And that way, I don't know about where you're at, but I know where I'm at. Like we just had the hurricane, and there's always a couple days we end up being out of school for something. So I thought that the Zoom was a really good idea. For grammar and all that, I sent you back your paper with the comments. I thought that would be easier than trying to explain, and it wasn't anything major. I just didn't want to try and explain where those were in here. Organization, the only thing was that the headings weren't bolded. Not a big deal. And I like that you used the subheadings too. And the only thing, and I'm not entirely sure about everything with APA formatting, it just seems like I remember when I was in undergrad that they had us do our graphs and things in the appendices, not within the paper itself.
Okay,
so I might would just
kind of move the graphs to the reference page or appendix page.
Right. It seems like I remember, and I didn't really look too far into APA, but it seems like I remember APA format being like during your narrative part, you refer to it as like graph 1 or table 1. And then you actually put the picture itself in the appendices.
Okay.
So you might want to just double check that in an APA manual or something if you can find one online.
Okay.
I think that was it. Overall, like I said, I felt like your paper was really good. Sorry, my dog is trying to play with me right now.
That's fine.
I felt like your paper was really good and really well put together. You made me feel like I needed to go back and do a lot more work on mine.
Oh no, I looked at Michaela's. I don't know why I want to call her Michaela's, and I was like, okay, I need to go back and do more work on mine. But I guess,
I think
it's
we
just
all
like,
feel like that though.
yeah, and I think everybody just have a different style and a different way of conveying their information. And I feel like as long as if it is in that narrative form, then it's okay. And I think I did go back and look at mine because I looked at some comments, and then going back and getting another read of it is just like it wasn't flowing like it should have been. So I think
Right.
next time what I'll do before I even submit the paper, I'll probably print a copy out for myself and just go in and highlight and like look at it and read it as if I'm like reading a book or just reading another document with a
Yeah,
fresh.
I have to do the same thing because I can't. It's hard for me to look at a computer screen and find my own errors.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do the same thing.
Yeah, so definitely next time with the next task, I'm gonna do that. And then if it get kicked back, then I know to go and, well, I'm gonna do that anyway, just print it off and just like kind of make corrections. Because I'm sure
Right.
whatever get kicked back for, those corrections gonna need to be made. So yeah, I'm gonna print it out and just look at it with fresh eyes and, kind of go from there.
Right. That helps a lot usually.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that they left the course, like Dr. Church said a couple times, they kind of leave it open for interpretation, it seems like, so that we can put our own spin and our own style into it.
And that's a good thing because I think they're really good about giving us the information, giving us enough information to guide us on what we need to do. Although,
Right.
there's a little difficulty like where to leave and drop things, but everything is there. So that's why at the beginning, I put one in discussion board and then the other one I put in two different places, like just in case. So either if it's in either place, you can still get to it and, read it. If I say, well, Rebekah, kind of check the discussion board because I left it, there. And then
Right.
you can say, well, Alicia, check, the exchange because, the file exchange because I left my paper there. We can still have access to each other paper in a, various spots. So I don't think
Yeah.
that was a major, but.
No, and I think that our meeting Sunday, the Zoom we had with everyone, kind of helped us all kind of get on the same page. I know there's still a little bit of miscommunications, and all of our schedules are really crazy. But I think the more we do it, like they've said in the Zoom meetings too, I think the more we do it, the easier it'll get.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. Well, like I said, if you can get it uploaded and send me the link, and if you can't, just send me the file and I'll try and upload it.
Okay. All righty then. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Now I have to figure out how to end it. Okay. Let me see.